Expert, and I thought I'd do a quick video and explain how Salon Expert can work for you. I get asked a lot of questions, and I actually thought the easiest thing to do would be to make a brief video to explain how we can help you. So I've been in the beauty industry for 25 years. I've been teaching for over 18 years now, and I've written manuals over the years and started teaching. I was doing one or two things at the start, and then over time I've actually increased my repertoire of what I teach. But now I actually develop courses, so I don't actually teach much of the basic things anymore. So one of the things that I always get asked about is how do you set up a training academy? And I know a lot of people like to hold their cards to the chest. And one of the things that I've tried to do is to make opening a training academy as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. There's a few reasons in terms of why I'm doing this. One of the things was that I was actually moving abroad. I still am. I'm moving to India, and I sort of live between here and there. And I don't teach as much as I do. And somebody actually approached me and asked if I'd sell them my training manuals. And I never actually believed that there was ever going to be a business out of something like this. And this is where Salon Expert began. So there's a few reasons why you may be here. You may be on this site. You may be already a trainer and you want to bring in new courses, but you just don't physically have the time to write training manuals. Or you could be a beauty therapist looking to expand your business and move into the very profitable business of teaching. One of the things that I will say to you is you'll never ever regret teaching. If you're unsure how to start with your training academy, I do have a book if you go into business coaching. And this is setting up your own training academy. And this includes everything that you need to know, from where to work from, how big a salon you will need, how to write your own manuals, how to get accreditation, and what accreditation companies are out there, and all the costs, etc. Okay. The first thing that you're obviously going to need is a teaching qualification. You can do these very easily online for a couple of £100. And once you've got that, you're pretty much good to go. Once you've got your manuals, you get them accredited, you get your insurance, and you are basically a trainer. You've set up a training academy. Don't worry so much about where you work from. I used to travel around to other people. I used to have other people come to me, and I taught one-to-one, and I've also taught in groups. I've had incredibly large training academies where I could teach up to 12 students in a room at a time. And I've also had several rooms as well where I could teach from. So I've had the full shebang. Now I don't have any premises. I go out to rent other people's training rooms for the day, and I do really, really well from that. But I generally teach now the latest courses. I teach things that I've developed or brought out into the beauty industry myself. So if you want to know how to set up a training academy, if you're a little bit of a loss, this manual will help you. It will give you everything that you need to think about to get you started. Once you have decided whether you're going to write your manuals or you want to purchase a manual, if you want to purchase a manual either to use as a template or to use in its entirety, or you want to add on new courses into your already existing academy, but you don't know how to go about starting it, or you just don't have the time to write it, you can use these manuals as a base. So you can obviously scroll through. There's lots of products online. If you're looking for something more specific, you can actually go into the subsection in the drop down section of the shop, and we can find the manual that we want. So let's have a look in facials. So if I wanted to do some dermaplaning training, I can find, you can see I've got dermaplaning PowerPoint here, but I actually want the manual right now. So I can literally click here, click on dermaplaning, and then this will bring up a page and tell you what is involved or what's included within the manual. And then I can click add to cart, and then we can purchase the item from there. Once you've confirmed through checkout, you'll get a little button that says download now, and you can download that manual instantly. What you get when you download a manual is something like this. It's delivered in Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint, depending on what you've purchased. And the manual is either good to go or totally editable. And I'll show you quickly how to do that. So if you wanted to edit the manual or just put in your logo, you can put in your business name here, or you can put in a picture of your logo. If you wanted to change the name of the manual, you could put a new name. Okay, you can change the picture here if you want to. You can also, if you wanted to make the picture bigger, we can change the format of the picture. So we want that to be behind text. So the text can basically show through on the picture to make it look a little bit nicer if you want to do that. You know, this is all things that you can have a play about with. As I say, the manuals are completely editable. You just need to have a play around. We can make this picture, move this picture over a little bit. There we go. And then you can send that out to print as well. So you can change the way they look, or you can just leave them as they are. You can put down here if it was written and published by your company. And you can also put some copyright information down here. Or you could put your website details or your email address. Okay. Now you've got your content sheet here. They don't all have content sheet, but if you want to add one in, you can. If you don't want it, you can remove it. If you think that actually I don't want the health and safety section, you can just literally remove that health and safety section out there. You don't need to leave it in. It's dead straightforward, and then you can just save that manual once you've got everything that you need removed. If you want to add a section, so say for example we want to add in about skincare, we can literally go to the section where we want to add that, and we can put, you know, a section in on your skincare range, and you can describe what they are. Okay, really straightforward. The next thing is the PowerPoints. So when we download the PowerPoints are delivered like this. You might not like the look of this, and to be fair, I'm not a big fan of this. It just seems to be the easiest template to use. But you can literally, if you ever do any of my online training courses, you can see that I completely edit my manuals, my PowerPoints, and they all look different. I don't have a particular scheme, but you can make these look really, really pretty. All you need to do is go up here to design. Again, you can leave it as it is, but if you want to change the colour, if you're thinking, actually, do you know what, my salon is more purples or it's more blues, you can change the colour around. You can change the design of the PowerPoint. So there you go, you can change it. You can change the front picture. So actually, I think that looks a bit nicer. You can put your company logo there. You can have a proper play about, and this will literally change the look of all the PowerPoints. So it can look like your company's branded PowerPoint or learning resource over something that you've particularly purchased online. People ask me what are PowerPoints for. So PowerPoints are generally for using as a visual resource for your students. So everybody has a different style of learning. Some people learn by reading, some people will learn by listening, and some people will ultimately learn by doing. Okay, so we need to hit all those different types of learners within a large classroom. So having a PowerPoint when you're teaching groups of people can be a lot more visual and can actually help people learn better as well. These are very similar to the manual. They do miss some vital points which are included in the manual, such as your client consultation form won't be in your PowerPoint, and your treatment protocol isn't always in your PowerPoint neither. But again, like I say, you know, we can really play with these. We can change anything around. If we don't like something, we can literally just run through and PowerPoint edit everything for us, and we can make it look as pretty as we want it to look. And change it so it looks like something has been done by ourselves and not purchased off the shelf. So you can do that. Like I say, they're completely editable. You don't need to edit them. If you want to leave them as they are, then that is perfectly fine for you. So these are really good, as I say, if you're a training company and you want to add on an existing course and you don't want to mess around, you can purchase these and use them as a template and not worry about copyright. And if you are starting out and you don't know where to start with writing a manual, you can purchase these as well, or you can just use them as a learning resource for your students. So if you want to set up your own academy, and this is one of the reasons that I've done this video, is because I get a lot of questions about the Instant Academy packs and how they work. I've now changed them a little bit from how they used to be. So now these are Build Your Own Academy, which gives you a lot more autonomy over what you actually would like included within your package. And this was a lot more flexible. So when you first come onto the page, you'll see that you've got a lot of drop down menus here, but let's give you a little bit of oversight. You've got the full description all down here of how it actually works. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to choose how many manuals you want. You've got two lists of manuals. You've got list A and list B. List A generally tends to be your level 2 and level 3 work, and then list B is moving into level 3, level 4 work as well. Depends on how advanced the treatments are. If you want a mix of both list A and list B, then you can just choose the list B price. So you would literally click on, let's say I want 10 manuals from list B. Then you can choose whether you want PowerPoints or not. As we said, some people like them as visual aids. You can also use PowerPoints to deliver your theory online. This is becoming more popular now with blended learning. It means you get to spend a lot more time with your client or your students teaching practical than actually covering that theory with them, which they can do online. And also then they can go away after the course and they can keep recapping over that theory and obviously expand on their knowledge from there. So if you've already purchased manuals from me and you've decided that you actually want to have PowerPoints to match them, you can choose 20 PowerPoints. If you want only 5, you can have 5 PowerPoints in there. Or if you want to have them matching, you can have 10 PowerPoints. Double check before you purchase that I do have all the PowerPoints for the manuals that you have or want, because there are probably about 15 PowerPoints that I don't have for manuals. So just obviously let me know beforehand, although generally I don't think it's on here, but I do have most of them as it stands. You then get to choose whether you want accreditation or not. Obviously, if you've got 10 courses that you want to accredit, then you can put accreditation in for 10 courses. You do get a discount doing it this way. If you go direct with the training, the accreditation company, it will cost you full price. I use Centre of CPD Excellence. The reason being is that I believe how they work is quite ethical. They're also quite reasonably priced as well. Some companies are cheaper. Professional beauty is a lot cheaper, but if you're looking to move into aesthetics or you're looking at teaching things like cavitation, then a lot of these companies now aren't covering accreditation for cavitation. Centre of CPD Excellence covers anything within the hair, beauty, holistic and aesthetic sector. So anything that you ever want to bring in and teach, even if it's a business course, they will give you accreditation and CPD for that as well. What I also like about them is that they have an academy charter. They obviously were the only company that has an academy charter, and this is what people have to agree to before they sign up, and obviously that you're going to improve the standards of training within the industry. You've also got over here your list of academies. So if we go into here, we can see who's on and listed. So if your students want to see if you're actually accredited, they can just literally skip through or they can do a search up here and find your academy name there, or also they can find your academy number. So this is really good for students to double check that somebody is obviously accredited. So if we have a look at mine, I've got my own listing on here for my own academy. Let me see if I can find it. So here you can see that I've got my logo in there. I've got my academy number. I've got my address and phone number in there. And then I've got the list of everything that I'm covered for to accredit. And the course number and CPD points are there as well. And you'll also see there's a review section, which is really handy because your students can then go away and can actually leave reviews for your training academy. And if you get lots of good reviews, you get to use their gold logo, and you can also win awards with them, which is really, really nice. So this is the company I use. Let me show you the pricing plan. So although you get the accreditation, you can choose at the time of purchase with the academy. You can also find here your annual fees. So with the starter plan, which is up to 5 courses, it's 199. With your premium plan, it's 349. That's up to 10 courses. Up to 20 courses is 549, and then they have an unlimited plan, which I don't sell. If you want the unlimited plan, you have to go direct through to Centre of CPD Excellence. Your renewal fees are listed below here as well, but I'm just going to skip back to my page here because they are also on here as well. So this tells you how we're going to do the accreditation, and I will explain that in a moment to you as well. And it explains your renewal fees. So if you only ever have, say, 11 to 20 courses accredited to the Centre of CPD Excellence, it's only going to be £549 a year. If you do add on any more courses over the space of the 12 months, then it does go up to 849, but your renewal after the first 12 months is only ever £549 a year, even if you add extra courses on, because obviously your first initial courses were accredited for that price as well. So that's how that one works. So if you want accreditation, you can add it in there. If you decide that you don't want any accreditation, you can just click the no accreditation section there. You can also choose whether you want a business paperwork pack, and these are really handy because you do need them for your accreditation. You will either need a policies and procedures pack, or you'll need a full academy paperwork pack, and this includes all your legal paperwork from your electrical files to your health and safety to your accident book and everything in between. But the most basic that you'll need is your policies and procedures pack. But if you've already got this, or if you don't need it, or you think that you're going to write your own policies and procedures, you can obviously just click no paperwork pack. But we're going to click policies and procedures pack today. If you've already purchased packs off me previously, or you've purchased a few manuals and you want to build your own academy from here, so let's say, for example, you've already purchased, say you've purchased 10 manuals already, and you're going to purchase another 10 manuals, but you want accreditation for 20 courses because you're going to put them all through the same place, and you've already got the policies and procedures pack, so you don't need that now. And that will basically give you a full price up here of what you're going to pay. So for this £1,080, you're going to get any 10 manuals, any 10 PowerPoints, accreditation for 20 courses, and no paperwork pack. Okay. So once you've chosen that, you're going to check out. And once you've checked out, you're going to send an email to myself, which is on here. So it's salonexpertuk@gmail.com. And you give me a list of the manuals that you want, which is from any of these lists down here, and what PowerPoints you want as well. When you've done that, I will email them over to you via Dropbox. You don't need a Dropbox account. You can literally download them straight from Dropbox. And you will also need to save these files on a dongle as well, because after a few days of obviously receiving your order, and after 30 days of the files being on our system, they are wiped off and removed. And we do unfortunately have to charge you for replacement files, because it does take us a while to go back and cross-check and cross-reference the items that you've had. So please keep those files completely safe. You'll also get another link from me, which will have a link to an accreditation application form. I'm not actually able to show you that now. I don't think I've got a copy of one. But yeah, with Centre of CPD, it's an online accreditation form, and they'll ask you questions such as your academy name, academy address, phone number, and then your teaching qualifications, your insurance information, and then what courses that you want to list. So what you would basically do if you wanted manicure and pedicure, you'd put that down, and how many hours of theory that would be covered over, how many hours of practical, and how many hours overall is the course, and how many students is going to be present on that course. It really is quite straightforward and quite easy to do. You'll also receive a contract from them, which you need to sign. Again, this is just digital, and once you submit that, you'll need to email them across to send, I think it's inquiries at Centre of CPD Excellence, copies of your teaching qualification and copies of your certificates in the courses that you want to teach, as well as your business logo as well, as you see on their website. Some people have logos and some people don't have logos, but obviously if you want your image branded, then you can obviously send over your logo and it can be popped in on there as well. Okay, so once you've done that, the accreditation process takes around 7 to 14 days to be approved. Once it's approved, you receive a certificate from them and a welcome letter, and then obviously you will get listed on to their website, and then obviously you'll be able to send your students here so they can see what courses are accredited, and obviously that your renewal date and things is there as well. At the end of the 12 months, what happens, because this is a question I get asked a lot, is you can either move to another accreditation company or you can stay with Centre of CPD Excellence, and then you'll just renew at how many courses you've got, remembering that obviously the maximum is 549 a year, but if you do add on any more courses over that time, then it can be an upgrade fee as well. You can upgrade directly with Centre of CPD, so if you have a 1 to 5 course package with us and you write your own manuals or you purchase manuals separately from us over time, you can actually go direct to Centre of CPD and you'll just pay the difference between the two prices. So if you've bought the 349 package, you've got 6 to 10 courses accredited with them already, and you want to add another few courses on, you can just pay the difference between the 349 and the 549, which is obviously £200. You pay that direct to them. So obviously, some of the frequently asked questions are all answered here. Can you give copies to your students? Yes, of course. You can give and print off as many copies as you like. We don't take any further payments off you. The business is totally yours. We don't take any percentage off your courses. We don't take any ongoing fees. The only ongoing fee that you'll ever pay is to the accreditation company at the end of the year. You issue your students their own certificates. I use an app called Canva, and I use a basic design from there, and I create my certificate from that, and that literally takes 5 minutes to create. And then you can either print that off or you can send a digital copy over to your students after they've completed the course. So guys, that is pretty much it in a nutshell. So really straightforward. You can design, like I say, your own academy from here with whatever you want. You can also play around if it's in or outside of your budget. You can start off small, and you don't need to necessarily go in with everything. If you want to just start with 5 manuals and you want to have just the accreditation for that, I would suggest you do get the policies and procedures pack, because you will need that throughout, and it does help you if you get any issues with students. But then obviously if you want to come back and purchase additional packs, you can build onto that. So you don't think, even though you might want to start with 20, 30, 40, 50 courses because you think you want to offer your students a lot of things, that's great, but start with the key core set of subjects first. Don't skint yourself to start an academy. You want to start making money back very, very quickly, and you will do. So this investment here, you'll probably get back very, very quickly. Don't get me wrong, I do have people that literally will buy 20 manuals, 20 PowerPoints, 20 accreditation, and the full policies and procedures pack. They do that, and they usually have a few trainers, or they want to go in large. That is okay as well. But, don't feel that having a smaller package is going to in any way hinder you. It really isn't. Obviously, the more you purchase up front, the more discount that you obviously acquire. But that again is by the point. You don't skint yourself just to set up your academy. You will build on that and you will grow. I've been in the industry for 25 years, and I still only teach a very small key set of subjects. I've never ever taught 70 courses at once. I've started out doing little things like intimate waxing at the very beginning when there was no trainers for that. I've done contour tanning and spray tanning courses. Dermaplaning was the one thing that I brought into the industry as well, and so I did a lot of training for that. So in terms of what you need to do, you can actually concentrate on just 1, 2, 3 or 4 different things. So do choose wisely of what you want to teach, what you're really confident in teaching, and focus on those. At a later date, you can come back and you can add another 5 manuals on. You can add some PowerPoints, you can add accreditation, and obviously if you've already got your paperwork pack, you don't need that, and you can just process the payment through the website, and obviously we can add those extra courses onto your accreditation as well. So again, like I say, don't think for a moment that you have to always go in large. You can start small, and even now to this day, I'm a trainer. I can teach up to 70, 80 different courses, but I actually only teach about 7 to 8 core things. Okay, so don't stress if money is an issue right now. So I hope that answers your questions. I don't really think there's much else that I can explain on that. Yeah, I get asked a lot of very similar questions. So I do think that that has basically covered and cleared up how the package works without making this video too long for you guys. But do have a flick through. Obviously, you've got everything there. It's a really straightforward process, and we accept all major credit cards and also PayPal. And yeah, that's it. Once you've done that, you will literally be ready to go in 7 to 14 days. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to get in touch. I'm Kate Sharmond on Facebook, and my email address and my contact details are on the website. If there's any questions that you've got, we do accept applications from around the world. The manuals, health and safety is all done to British standards. So if you are from Australia, America, I've had people from Nigeria, all over the world purchase the manuals. Please be aware the health and safety is written to meet English specifications or UK law. So you may need to pop in your own health and safety from there. But other than that, the actual content, the treatment and things like that doesn't vary very much from there. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this video today. As I say, I get asked a lot of the same questions, so it was just easier to create this video to allow you guys to understand how everything works, and hopefully answer all of your questions. So I'll speak to you soon, and good luck with your academies.